So the van is officially alive and back on the road. She flew through the MOT with just a few advisories, most of which are because I wax-oiled the brake pipes. Apparently that's a no-no. And the guy also did question the fact that it's gone from 360,000 miles to 59,000 kilometres. That was an awkward conversation, but he put it into the VOSA database and it didn't throw up an error, so we carried on. I still hadn't finished off the interior completely, but it was a vast improvement from before, and a much nicer place to just sit and drive. Mechanically, the van was running great, but it was still using a little more fuel than I'd like, so the tests continued over the next few days to try and suss out what was wrong. And during the test runs, I started to sort out and clean up the colossal messes I'd made, like scrapping the leftover parts and the huge pile of wiring. It still felt weird driving the van, especially with the added controls, but it was great. But what wasn't great was the price I got for all my wire. Well, weighing all that in was pointless. I made the same mistake I did with the donor van and took it to that same scrapyard. And yeah, all the sort of steel and scrap bits, odd sort of panels and whatever, that figured out at £5. And then the wiring, the massive pile the size of me, the one I thought at least that'd be a night down the pub, you know, something like that. No, £4.70. In this part of the land, that's not even one pint. However, one good thing did come from it, in that they weigh your van. Now, I didn't weigh it before all of this. I weighed it a couple of years back, and if anything, I've just added weight to what I originally knew it as 4.7 tonne. The van's rated at 4.9 tonne, so in my head for the past, I don't know how long, I've had between 150, 200 kilograms, something like that. After all of this, the van now weighs 4.18 tonne. I've lost nearly 600 kilograms, over half a tonne on my van. Sports van! The following week, after all the tests, it was time for another big test run. Heading down to Shaftesbury for the South Central South Build meet, with a few others in convoy, including the re-emergence of my old friend Lenny. Second big test drive of the van. First one was just up to Coventry to see family and stuff, and the van, that's when I found out the van was a little thirsty on the fuel. So since then I've changed a couple of sensors in the engine, temperature sensor and airflow, cleaned another sensor because it was all gummed up. Yeah, so swapped a few of them around that might be the culprit of that. Fired a load of injector cleaner down the fuel tank, so that's now doing its magic. And we're actually on the way to we're actually on our way to the South Central South Build get together down in Shaftesbury. So it's like a 2-hour run for the van. Hopefully the fuel comes back a bit, because at the minute, Jesus, I cannot afford to fuel this at the rate it's drinking it. Yeah, we can only see. Yeah, we've got Max in the convoy with Lenny, so it's good to see Lenny again with all his new additions. Emma behind that, and then my brother Jordan. Yeah, it's looking like a good weekend. So we've actually sort of combined the South Central meet with a bit of a Patreon meet of mine. So a few of the Patreon lot are coming down as well. And yeah, just have a good catch up with some people we ain't seen for a while, meet some new people, show the van around now that it's running. However, at the time of recording this, YouTube is currently only on welding video, so as far as the internet is concerned, the van hasn't got a front end or anything, so people are going to be like, hey. Weather's a bit crap, and another fault I've yet to fix is the fact that even when the heater's on cold,
it's it's blowing hot. Don't know how that's happened. But yeah, other than the fueling and the heat, the van runs lovely. The gears have got so much more loose now they've been used again. The engine's really starting to open back up, and it's just running sweet as a nut. But yeah, I couldn't ask for anything better. This whole endeavour of getting this van with the manual gearbox and gear stick so I can control, it's just as good as I'd hoped. I am proper happy. Just back then, coming off a little hill start, I could just feather the clutch and make the van do what I want without it jerking everywhere and like that. It was just, if you've ever driven a sprint shift, you'll know that they're just not that great. But yeah, it's running well. And it's just this drive now, 2.5 hours. We'll see if my fiddling around with bits has improved the mileage. Come on then, get on, you bloody Caraval California twat. I've got the sat-nav fitted now, and there's a 3 mile an hour discrepancy. So 60 miles an hour shown on the speedo, 63 on the sat-nav. So it's out by 3 the other way to what it usually is. Most of the time speedos are slower than they're showing, so this is faster than it's showing. Also the fact that it's in kilometres, that'll be really helpful abroad though, because it's all kilometres abroad. It does feel good. It feels so goddamn good, because I'm back on the road again!
It's 8:30 and you're late for work. You're stopped in gridlock and you're going berserk.
Welcome to the corporate world. Oh, I've got to change gear.
Never mind, eh? And just as we got past Stonehenge, the clouds gave way to some gorgeous sunshine, making that drive all the more enjoyable.
Lenny, Lenny's brought Lenny. Yeah. Not too bad, mate, you?
Yeah.
Good to see you again.
Give me a tears again, you little sod.
Hey, oh,
you.
hey. Stay in the van, you. Sorry? I don't even know how it's running. It's working.
That's on my side, there's a big gap between the gearbox and the pump shaft.
Yeah.
You just dropped it off.
Yeah. How's it going, mate? You alright?
How much you get smacked with the water?
Do you know, I weighed it in just the other day, £4.20.
No.
Because I didn't strip it.
Yeah, they're going to strip it. That's why
Yeah.
the gypsies burn it first.
Yeah. But, there you go. Right, park up and I'll see you in a bit. Alright, mate.
Yeah.
Long time no see.
Long time. Glad to see it's running.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, we're not going on the grass because it's shitty. I've already been stuck and been towed out. So,
Fair dues.
I'm going to try and hump the path. There's a few paths around, so.
It's going to be like the Drove.
Making our way down the track to find a place to park up, I recognised a lot of familiar faces and vans, but it surprised me just how many people knew about the van's rebuild and were happy to see it back on the road.
It works! Thank you. Yeah, it seems to be alright as of today. I've only stalled it 3 times. Hello. Yeah, mate. I'm trying not to run anyone over. Hello, Jeff. I just texted you. Your handbrake trick. never been better. Never been better.
Don't fucking slap any handbrake.
Yeah, man. Just got to stop stalling it now. Just got to stop stalling it. I keep bloody stalling it.
Yeah.
How far back?
Weird clutch pedal thing.
Oh, mate. So I just come up to a junction. Oh yeah. Right, I'll park up. I'll see you. Best behaviour from you. Oh my goodness. You had it one day and you turned it into a camper van.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We hadn't even woken up and you'd already had Instagram stories like, camper. That's awesome.
Yeah, I bought a track saw for at the end of my last build.
Oh yeah.
It's like the next investment. It's the last tour, that's it. Last major tour.
How do you get up? Like when you wake up, you're gonna get up and then you're gonna bang your.
Yeah.
Well, limitations to this lifestyle, you know. And that's made part of the bed. Oh, on that, yeah.
Just there's a bit of ply. I just cut it into 2 bits, and then this.
Boom. Bed. Perfect.
And it sits on. Just sits on there.
Oh, perfect.
And then.
All just folds away and instantly becomes a car again.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Minimal.
Oh, yes. Watch his expression when you squeak it.
Hang on a minute.
That's it. That's going to be his new favourite thing until the next one.
Yeah.
It's alive! Are you happy? No, you'll be alright. What's happened here then? What's happened here? Oh yeah. Oh, the rusty chassis. Would you like a piece?
Yeah, that'd be great.
There you go. Have a piece of my crap.
I've got a little bit of undercarriage.
There you go, yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
How much is it?
Free of charge.
Oh, okay.
Funnily enough, you know.
That one in there?
Anyone else? Rusty chassis piece. Rusty chassis piece, anybody? There you go.
Oh, you got the good one.
There we go. It's perfect. Does the job.
Motivate me. Why am I sat working on something?
Oh no, now we're those guys. Hi! Hi! What a bunch of arseholes.
Do like a Michael Jackson thing and be like,
Yeah, it's a bit tight around here, isn't it? I'm flying! This is really weird.
that's a rather big smile you've got there.
It's good for you. I can't move.
Well, you're stuck between your bed or
Slide.
That's what I just said. Slide down the
We need a slide. So much.
Are
you well?
Well, in Portugal, figure that.
He's got his foot stuck.
Never come back out.
Hey, we broke a record! Yay! What's that, 11?
Keep an eye on that on Nicky.
Oh yeah! You'll know now, you'll know. Dance, you've got one. Somehow I'd ended up in babysitting duty of our friend Tim's daughter, also named Amber. Being great with kids, I slapped a camera in her hand and put her to work. So we're up to Simon.
Who's Simon?
The guy directly behind you. There he is. You're going to ask him a question about life.
Yeah, no.
Why are you so big?
Why am I so big?
Yeah.
Because I've been around for a long time, like a tree.
Did you just ask him why he's so big?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Can I ask Joe a question?
Who's Joe? Who?
Well, it's not Emma, so it's the gentleman next to her.
I saw him talking to him last night, and I was going to ask about his van. I was like, nah, of course he's got rid of it. You've had for sale at Stratford.
Aye.
And then I walked past this one. I was like,
What question have you got for me?
no, I'm interested.
Why are you? Why do you have 2 rings?
I've got 3.
You good?
It's just going to be a video.
Yeah. If you can now go and do a nice slow soft pan around all the vans, and then I won't have to do anything this weekend.
No.
No? Damn. Can't freelance this work out. That was absolutely useless. Don't record that.
It's alright, you get to edit it.
Yeah, it's true.
No, he's going to go through this and go, she's got better stuff than I did.
Yeah. What would you take as a weekly wage?
I will do your better throw. Do a better throw this time.
Drop.
That was okay,
That was better than the first one.
at least.
Ready. There we go. He just stalled. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, someone's got their drone.
I don't know. No one. The people can't see the drone.
Whoever's taking that picture.
What happened last time?
Someone flew one into the barn at Wantage.
Wow.
And almost crashed it into Nev's van. You know the massive lorry with the motorbike on the back?
Yeah.
Grey and orange one, yeah.
And he flew into that one, was it?
Yeah.
It's always some
that
pillow
was
that
it,
ruins
yes.
it for everyone, isn't it?
Yes. I remember that, it's only just occurred to me, yeah.
I say this, I crashed my drone the other day recording that coming out of the shed. Straight into a tree. And
That's the standard one, going backwards.
that's exactly what it was. It was just, oh yes, got it. Straight in a tree. Unfortunately, the weekend from here on out went a little south, with Lance getting ill. Okay, buddy. Fine. Puked all in his bed. Oh, matey. Come on, out of the way, let me go and get to clean that. Yeah. Not quite the weekend I was expecting, but yeah. Could just be ill of his own accord, but this has been the second event Lance has been ill at. And all I'll say is please don't feed my dog. If he's been over-treated, this happens. It happened last time and it's another event, another ill dog. So the rest of the weekend was spent in the van nursing Lance back to health, unfortunately. So I didn't really get much more of the show. The sun. Soon to be the moon. But what I did see was amazing all the same. And luckily come Sunday morning, Lance did bounce back. It was great to meet and chat to everyone this weekend and actually enjoy some social time again. After such a long time isolated in the unit, it was very much needed. Thanks to all the patrons that came along as well, it was nice to put some faces to names. And thanks to Darren and the team who organised this amazing event. Even though the weather dampened the plans, it was an amazing weekend all the same. The idea of these self-build get-togethers are uniquely brilliant, in that they're not just for the social aspect and getting to know people in the camper scene, but people share their skills, tools and even spare parts, and helping each other get their campers built. The daytime sees a lot of building and helping out on each other's vans, and the evening is down to the more social side. I'd highly recommend the South Central shows, and we'll be leaving information down in the description below so that you can check out shows in the future. And having driven the van all the way down here and back, I'm now a lot more confident to hop in that driver's seat and drive further afield, if you catch my drift.